Okay, so these are some of the homework problems we did not get to just before the self-test and just after where we stopped. So these are the last few questions in the book that we did not go over on Friday. So I'm going to go through and solve 8 through 13 here. They're all quite similar, all to do with percentages. So with that, number 8, a rig welder had a total income of $223,000 for 1 year's operation and will make a net profit of $68,000. What percent of the total income was net profit? Great. So this one here, we are just going to go ahead and do 68,000 divided by the total income there. And when we do that division, 68,000 divided by 223,000, I get some decimals, 0.30493. 5 decimal places is enough. 6 if you want to be even better. So let's take 6 decimal places. I rounded that up from a 2 to a 3 for that final decimal place. And I'm going to multiply this by 100% to get a final answer of 30.49%. I'll also note now that I have not solved these problems before. I have not seen them before. So if you hear my calculator going in the background, just know that's because I haven't solved these yet. I'm not working off pre-written solutions or anything, so solving these as I go. Great, so that was number 8. Number 9, 30 is 12.5% of blank. So we got to figure out what that blank is. What I know is that if I want to find 12.5% of 30, I would multiply 30 by a decimal once I convert it from a percent to a decimal. So this time I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide. So first I'm going to take 12.5% and convert that to 12.5%. Now I'm going to convert this percentage to a decimal, so I get 0.125. And now I'm going to take this and go 30 divided by 0.125. I'm going to get 240 is my answer. Again, this is just because if I wanted to find 12.5% of 30, I would multiply. But here it's backwards. I'm given that 30 is 12.5% of something. So instead of multiplying, I'm going to divide. Now for number 10 here, it's the exact same method. So 20 is 0.5% of blank. So I'm going to convert 0.5% into 0.005 as a decimal. And I'm going to take 20 divided by that, which I think is 4,000. Yeah, 4,000. Wanted to double check and not leave a mistake in the video here. So calculator it is. No shame in that. Great. So that's questions 9 and 10 done. Very, very similar to each other. Basically identical. Number 11, part A, part B. Okay. A welding shop purchases a pallet of wire. They receive a 22% discount for purchasing in bulk and save $410. What was the original list price? So this is going to be the same method as questions 9 and 10 for part A at least. So I'm going to go ahead and take 410 and I'm going to divide it by 0.22. The 0.22 comes from 22%. Divide that by 100%, you get 0.22. So 410 divided by 0.22, I get an original purchase price, or original list price, sorry, of 1863.64. I'm going to round that up. So that is my answer here. And now, what was the actual purchase price? This is where I'm going to take my 1863.64 minus 410. And I will get 14. Oh, that was a terrible 5. 53.64. Let me check. 1863.64 minus 410. Yeah, okay. So I did do this correctly. There we go. So very similar. Part A was basically identical to 9 and 10. Part B, a little bit of subtraction. Take off the discount, see what they actually bought it for. Question 12. There we go. A journeyman welder had $119.54 deducted from his wages. If this was 2% of his wages, how much did he earn? So again, this is very, very, very similar, basically identical to questions 9 and 10 and 11A. This nearly $120 was 2% of his wages. So instead of multiplying by 2%, I'm going to divide by 2%. So I'm going to take 119.54. I'm going to divide by 0.02, which comes from this. So 2% divided by 100% is going to give you 0.02. And 119.54 divided by 0.02 gives me, a nice number, exactly 5,977. Kind of look like crappy 2s. There we go. That's a bit better. 5,977. Oh, let me shift this over a bit. Add a $sign. There we go. They're basically units of money. So I'll include that. Great. Lastly, question 13 here. If a journeyman welder received a raise of 3.5% and is currently earning $26.52 an hour, what is her original rate of pay? Okay. Worded a little bit weirdly here from my brain. I don't know if that's just me. But when I first read this over just now, I assumed 26.52 was before the raise, but it looks like that is after the raise. So 26.52 is after the raise pay. We're looking for the original rate of pay before the raise. Okay. So if I was looking for the rate of pay after the raise, so if this was the original rate of pay, I don't know why that was so terrible. If that was the original rate of pay, I would multiply by, first I would convert this to a decimal, which is divide by 100. So move this 2 decimal places, 0.035. I would multiply by 1.035 if I was giving her a raise, if this was the original cost. So instead of multiplying, I'm going to take that away and divide by this same number here. So instead of increasing, we're decreasing because this is the rate after a raise. 26.52 divided by 1.035. And this is going to give us an answer of 25.62 is how I'm going to round it. A 3 came after the 2, so I'm rounding that down. There we go. Great. And this is her pay rate after the or before the raise. This is her rate of pay before the raise. So this was every single question left over from what we did not get done in class. I hope this was helpful. Hope you watch it. If you have questions, please email me or ask me in person.